Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how you can build these 3 different size wooden stars. This is the small version, which is 24 inches. The medium version, which is 32 inches. And then I have the large version, which is 40 inches. So these stars are all 8 inches different in height. If you go to your hardware store, you should be able to buy these 1.5 by 3/8 inch pieces of wood. Just to show you guys what that actually looks like, they are 3/8 of an inch thick, 1.5 wide. Typically, they're relatively cheap. Sometimes your hardware store might not stock them.
Here's a screenshot of the lumber dimensions from Home Depot that they sell.
So I'm going to show you how you can cut these on your own using a table saw and some 2x4s. You can make all of these on your own out of one 8-foot 2x4. So in order to make them, we need to put 2 different measurements onto this board. We're going to hook our tape measure onto the end. We're going to make our first mark at 24 inches, and then we're going to make our second mark at 56 inches. I'll bring the camera in and show you what that looks like. We made our first mark here at 24 inches, and then we made our second mark at 56 inches. So this is going to give us a 24 inch piece, a 32 inch piece, and then a 40 inch piece at the end. So now I'm going to take it over to my miter saw and make the cuts. I'm going to make my first cut, which is 24 inches. We're going to cut right on that line. And then we are going to make our second cut, which is at the 56 inch mark. And then we're left with our 40 inch piece. As you can see, these are the 3 pieces we cut. The first one is 24 inches. This next piece is 32 inches. And the final piece is 40 inches. We cut those lengths already, 24, 32, 48 inches. So now we're going to rip these thin strips. If you can just buy these strips on your own, I'd say go ahead and do that, and then cut them to 40, 32, and 24 inches. But I'll show you how to make them on a table saw. Everyone, I've got my table saw here, and we are gonna rip these 3/8 of an inch strips of wood. So doing this on a table saw can be difficult, and it can also be dangerous. Table saws are one of the more dangerous tools. I'm going to show you guys how to do this easily, and I'm going to explain to you guys how to do it in the safest manner possible, but just understand that this is dangerous to get our 3/8 inch strips. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our fence and we're going to make it so that it's 3/8 of an inch to the blade. We'll hold a tape measure up here, and we want to stop it when it's at 3/8 of an inch and lock this into place. I've adjusted the fence on this table saw, and as you can see there, we are measuring from the fence to the blade, and we want that to be 3/8 of an inch, which we have.
Now the way I'm doing this, I'm pushing the 2x4 against the fence, and I'm only cutting about half the length. Then I flip the board over and I finish the cut. That way my hands never get close to the blade. You need to hold on to both pieces of wood because the table saw is going to want to potentially kick it back. So hold on to it so that it doesn't go shooting. And if you don't feel comfortable, just buy the pre-cut lumber. It's safer.
For each star, we're going to have 5 pieces of material, and you're going to be left over with some scrap, about 1 inch of the 2x4. You can save it, but that is scrap. Now, for each of these stars, we're going to need 5 pieces of lumber. As you can see, we've got our 5 pieces here. The way I like to assemble these stars is the first two pieces we're going to take and we are going to simply make a pyramid like that. Next, we're going to take this middle piece, which sits over the top, and then the last two pieces, this piece and this piece, we want it to go underneath here. So we'll go under and it will sit over top of this piece, and then we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to go over top here and then we are going to go underneath of this piece. When you're trying to line these pieces up, you're going to have to adjust it, and you want to try and keep all the triangles the same size. So I'm roughly going to get this adjusted so that it's in the right spot, and then I'll show you guys how we confirm that it's in the right spot. I've got the star laid out the way I want it to be. A way you can confirm is you can measure each of these gaps, and you want them all to be the same measurement. So here we have 5 inches approximately on all of these spaces, which is exactly what we want. As long as they're close, that's all that really matters. We're going to use a hot glue gun and glue these together. I like to start at the top, put some glue down, hold that together. Next, I typically move down to this bottom piece, set that where I want it, and then I will typically do the other bottom piece. And I will hold these so that they can glue, and then move on to the next pieces. The next piece that I like to do is this middle piece. Glue it together, and before it dries, just make sure that everything is lined up so you can do the other side with hot glue. Sometimes you have to hold these joints together just for a little bit so that that glue can set. Just like that, they're glued together. As you can see, there's still some gaps here. I'm going to put glue back there, hold it so that it all stays glued together. So we are going to put a couple dabs of glue under all these. As you can see, sometimes there are gaps. You can fill those with hot glue. But just like that, we have our star done, and we can set this outside and use it as decor.
Now I'm going to assemble the 24-inch star, so I'm doing the exact same pattern as I did with the last one, overlapping the boards, and then I'm measuring and making sure that all the spacing is the same. Now I'm gluing down the top and the 2 bottom joints, letting that harden, and then I'm going to glue the remaining 2 joints, hold it all together, and then glue underneath everything where it overlaps, and it's all held together nice and strong.
Just like that, we've got the small star all finished up. All the joints are glued together, so it is also ready to go.
Lastly, we're going to do the large star, which is the 40-inch one. We're laying it out the exact same way as the previous ones with the same overlaps. Make sure to measure the spacing on each of the triangles, trying to get them as close to the same as possible.
If you have a spot that you're really struggling to glue down, you can always clamp it. As you can see, I've got a clamp here, so this joint, it's struggling to be held together. So I'm just going to put that clamp on there to hold that down, and then I will carry on with the gluing. This hot glue gun is from Ryobi. It's battery powered, super handy. You can buy hot glue guns almost anywhere. They will all work the same. If you don't have a hot glue gun, you could put screws in here, but the nice thing about the hot glue is you can't see any screws, which makes it perfect for looking nice and clean. So Just like that, we've got this star all finished up and ready to go as well. And just like that, we've got all of our stars built. 3 different sizes. These make really nice decor. You can hang them. They're really cute and look great.
If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. I will try and respond to them. Thanks for watching.